Hi there, I'm Mark Masterson, Artistic Director at City Theater. Welcome to CT Live.
I'm Claire Drobot. I'm the Associate Artistic Director at City. So happy Friday, everyone.
Well, it's a happy Friday, but it's also a troubling Friday, and we all woke up to news today of protests and disruption in our country over the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis, along with all of the other incidents of violence against people of color that have been in the news over the many years. And it seems to be accelerating, and it just felt like we should acknowledge that fact right now and say that at this difficult moment, City Theater stands in solidarity with our communities of color and our friends and colleagues who are and continue to experience discrimination and violence in their daily lives because of the color of their skin. And it's a difficult time. I think it's important at this moment that all of us stand together and try to make change in this country for the better. And we intend to do that at City Theater in the way that we can, using our tools and our medium to build a stronger and a better community. But, it's only so much that we can do. And so we want to acknowledge the reality of that before we move into our program. Claire, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, no, I think just thank you for saying that. And it felt as we were talking this morning that it was important to acknowledge that and how it ties into art and City's belief in community, our core values of community, of equity, diversity, and inclusion. That this is part of all of the work we do. And we're also, specifically, we've worked on several plays. A production of Per Cup Per Cup, that deal directly with anti-racism work and dismantling the systems of white supremacy in this country. So we'll also be posting some resources in our chat because it's important not just to talk about it, but to take actions toward making this country more equitable.
It's also, we were talking about this yesterday before things got, really violent overnight around the country. But, theater is not probably going to change the world. Um, we don't think we're that important, but I think we do feel that we have a role to play in building a better community. And we are, as we were discussing yesterday, we're in the empathy business. That's what we do. We tell stories so that you can see the world through other people's eyes. And I just believe that that's even more important today, that we share other perspectives and that we see the world through something other than our privileged individual place in the world. That we generate empathy through the stories that we tell, hopefully, and through that lead to a better community, better dialogue, better connections between people. We hope. So that's why we do what we do, and it's a difficult time, but I think in a way it's an important time for us to double down on our values, to reaffirm our values, to put those values into action,
Mm-hmm.
and to do something concrete about it as through the medium that we have.
Absolutely, it's the stories that theater can tell, and that how we can help to foster dialogue and for us as allies, talking now you and me specifically of how we can support and push for change. So in this week, we're hoping that some of the work that we've been able to share is doing that, is offering moments of art and moments to come together through the course of the work that we're doing online. So in the past week, we've been able to share a song by Christopher Larkin and Julia Warner, both cast members from Oblivion. This was dedicated to Quentin Murray, who was also part of that cast. It was a 2015 production of Carly Mensch's Oblivion. And Quentin passed away about a year ago, and so this was dedicated to him. We're also back with In Their Own Brothers, in their own voices. Oh my goodness, in their own voices, which featured this week the Jackson brothers and Michael McGovern. Those are great. They're up on our Facebook page, or also on our website, so you can check that out. I have a feeling Nikki's probably adding that in the comments as we speak. And then we also, speaking of community, we were able to our first virtual happy hour yesterday. So it was a moment to bring artists who are part of our Digital Momentum Festival and patrons and staff together to share a cocktail online. I thought that sense of community and what theater can build, I felt like that was really in evidence last night. And I don't know if you felt the same, Mark.
It was a wonderful way, and it was just a small gathering of some combination of board members and a few donors and some artistic friends and staff, where we got together and celebrated the work that continues to happen at City Theater in the new play realm, and through our partnership with City of Asylum right now, and other ways that we continue to generate work given the parameters and the realities of the world that we're all living in today. So that work continues, and there's more to come in the future. And in a way, we're just grateful for the connections that we have and the communities that we have around us as we continue to tell our stories and gather people together and build networks within the community to make Pittsburgh at least a better place.
Yeah, and I think it's so interesting how you mentioned sort of, the medium that we have right now, and how theater, that is this art form that is live, and part of the joy of theater is being in a space with other audience members who you might not know, so that we're moving into this, digital moment. And we'll be joined shortly by Abby Lembersky from City of Asylum to talk a little bit more about our sort of digital partnerships. But Mark, I'm wondering, what are you seeing right now in terms of theaters adapting their art form in this moment?
There's a wide variety of ways that artists are responding to this. I think we mentioned last week that we had some rehearsal for one of the Momentum plays that we did at City of Asylum, and I dropped in for the rehearsal, and it was so refreshing to hear a director, Montez Freeland, giving notes to actors, even on Zoom, about choices that they make in an individual moment to make the story come alive. And so just being part of that creative process is important. The process itself, maybe more than the result in some cases. But artists continue to do their work, sometimes through a Zoom platform, sometimes through an audio play, sometimes through a 3-camera shoot of a play that was done before the pandemic shut everything down. And there are people now who are also thinking about sort of the core questions of what is an audience? What does live mean? What does an actor do when they can't look at the person next to them, right, and actually have a reaction instead of looking at the wall over there? It's and also, like, what is design? Can you design these boxes that we're in, and have better lighting and better backgrounds and other things that we can do that we normally do? But now people are starting to get creative about that. And I've seen examples of two blended backgrounds, being joined together so that it looks like you're in the same space, even if you're not. I've seen sound design working effectively for theatrical formats that are using this kind of technology. And none of us hope that this is, with us forever.
Yeah.
But it is a way for us to learn in the moment. And I think there will be things that we carry forward from this learning as we begin to reopen eventually and perform in live spaces and gather people together to tell our stories.
Yeah, and I think that's so the idea. One of the things that I've loved in some of the digital readings that we've done and that I've been able to watch is the chat function. Is that you're able to have audience members, since we can't laugh, but you can do more than just kind of a clapping hands emoji. You can actually share, "I loved that line," or "Oh my gosh, this is me and my mom." It's satisfying to be able to see a digital community grow around stuff. So for any of our viewers who are watching, if there are things that you'd be eager to see, or ways that you're dying to interact in this new digital medium, we'd love to hear from you. But speaking of digital medium, we've been fortunate enough to be able to partner with City of Asylum on their Show Must Go Online platform. We've actually been working with City of Asylum for a number of years. So today we wanted to invite on Abby Lembersky, who's the Director of Programs at City of Asylum, to join us to talk a little bit more about their work and also the Show Must Go Online platform. Hi, Abby.
Hi, guys. Good to see
welcome.
you.
Good to see you too. So I'm wondering, for viewers who might just not know all of the amazing things that City of Asylum does, can you share a little bit about the organization's history and its mission?
Sure, I would love to. So City of Asylum is a nonprofit on the North Side, and our mission is to protect, celebrate, and build on creative freedom of expression. And we achieve our mission through several different activities, one of which is our Writer Sanctuary program. So we provide sanctuary to writers who are exiled under threat of persecution from their home country. We give them a house on the North Side. We help them get settled in the United States, help them with medical insurance, just help them feel safe and feel welcome in Pittsburgh, and help them continue their writerly lives so that they can regain the circumstances that make them feel like a writer, that allow them to continue sharing their voice to ensure that their voice is not silenced. We also achieve our mission through public programs at our venue. I'm never really sure if I should talk about public programs in the past tense or present tense now, but we'll just talk present tense. So the public programs at our venue, which is called Alphabet City on the North Side, in a typical year, we do about 170 programs, all with the goal of, again, protecting, celebrating, freedom of expression and building community around freedom of expression. All of the public programs at our venue are free so that they can be accessed by all. And we're really proud that our venue is considered a space where the whole disparate community can come together to experience new things together, to feel emotion together, and to learn from one another. And obviously, I just wanted to echo all the things that you guys said about this time. Obviously, this difficult time, the togetherness, the equity and access, the learning from others, particularly those who may be different from us, is crucial every day, and particularly in times like now with violence and disruption and turmoil. So our values at City of Asylum are really about bringing people together to learn from one another and to share, to lift up one another's voices.
And it's such an important mission, and we've been fortunate to be able to collaborate with City of Asylum on a number of projects, and I'm wondering, two things. One, you mentioned Alphabet City. One of the things I love about that space is it brings together art, food, and books. So if there are any reading materials you want to shout out that audience members can get from Alphabet City, feel free to jump in. Yeah.
Well, I would just say, so our bookstore manager, Leslie Rains, is amazing, and we have quite a robust collection, and you can shop the entire collection online at City of Asylum's online bookstore, and we're shipping right to your house. In particular, we have a large collection of international literature, works in translation, those sorts of international voices that you might not find elsewhere in an independent bookstore in Pittsburgh, in addition to the sort of new bestsellers. And we work with a lot of independent publishers too. So a lot of those sort of indie books are on our shelves.
It's a great resource for reading. Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, I was going to just ask you to speak a little bit about the Show Must Go Online, because, we've participated in that. And I know a number of other Pittsburgh-based artists have also contributed and will continue to contribute. So it's such a great idea to bring the arts community together in this way, and we're grateful for that. But I'm wondering where the idea came from and how you began to think about it and get it off the ground.
Sure. So the show, just to sort of give the tagline of the Show Must Go Online for those who may not know, Show Must Go Online Pittsburgh is the region's first shared virtual programming channel. So we're bringing together arts organizations, arts presenters, and artists from all over Pittsburgh to curate independent evenings of programming. City of Asylum manages the overall calendar, the marketing, the tech, and we bring partners together so that we're bringing creative forces together to create a wide variety of high quality free programs for the community, and that continue to connect artists and audiences and build community even in a sort of distant time. We felt like that made a lot of sense for City of Asylum because at our venue, Alphabet City, we've long been a home for other partner organizations. So in our regular annual roster of public programs, we work with many arts organizations to be a home, to provide the stage, the venue that allow those partners to produce their works, curate their evenings, and share the voices of their artists. So we're a physical home at Alphabet City. So creating the digital virtual home for others felt like an obvious connection. Also, because our mission is so much about sharing voices from around the world, providing a platform for voices from everywhere, including all across the Pittsburgh community, bringing arts organizations together to give that platform felt like an extension of that mission.
And how's it been received? It seems like you're getting substantial attendance and audiences watching and participating in these events.
It's been such a delightful treat to see how well it's been received by audiences across Pittsburgh and really across the world. We've had we've had 3 full weeks of programming, maybe 4, and we've had 35 states represented, audience members from 35 states, 10 countries. So not only, and pretty much all the zip codes in Pittsburgh. So have had audiences from across Pittsburgh, across the country, across the world, which is the opportunity of this new virtual era, right? And we've also just had such positive reaction from artists in the community, those who feel like this platform is their opportunity to continue to create, continue to share their art, their voice, continue to find audiences and build community around their work. That's been also such a rewarding thing to see that audience reaction. And I would echo you, Claire. It's so amazing to see people really enjoy the chat function, to see audiences saying hello to one another. You know, people who say hello to each other at the venue, like our regulars who we always see saying hello and buying one another a drink. They log on and they say hello and they swap cocktail recipes before the show begins. So it's really nice to see people connect, even though connection is difficult right now.
Right, it's a virtual connection, but it still means something to be able to say hello in real time.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love about the work is that there's so many organizations involved in so many different mediums. So who are some of the partners that you're working with?
Yeah, so we're working with all sorts of partners, which is the really exciting thing. And I'll just give a plug for our website. So it's www.alphabetcity.org/show. And anybody can log on and you can see a list of who our partners are and download a calendar to see all of what's coming up in June, because I'm certainly going to forget some. But obviously, we've had a really nice partnership with City Theater. We've been working with the New Hazlitt, with Kelly Strayhorn. Yesterday was the first performance from Boom Concepts, the first of many. We've worked with a Bell Arts Ensemble, so a chamber music ensemble. Who else? We will soon be working with One Hood Media. We're working with the Black Transformative Arts Network. I think I got their name exactly right. We're adding partners all the time. So there's been a mix of all sorts of mediums, all sorts of sizes of organizations, and people trying out all sorts of different live and pre-recorded programming. And so I think one of the great things is not only how many voices are shared and how many mediums are tried, but we're also all able to learn from one another what works in this new digital world. How do we create good virtual programming? How can I learn from something that City's doing? How can Boom learn from something we're doing? Like, it's all we're able to think about the long-term future in an ever-shifting industry and ever-shifting world together, which is a beautiful thing.
I think that's so wonderfully put. So if you're looking at the lineup for this weekend, what can folks tune into, and what's the best way for them?
Well, of course, here I am to talk about a digital platform and my internet cuts out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
okay.
you.
Great. So we program every night of the week, Monday through Friday. So tonight you'll see a City of Asylum highlights from our archive. That's the Afro Yaqui Music Collective concert and a little bit of fresh interview content from them. It's a really fabulous mixture of world music and activism that you'll find from them. And then we'll be back next week. Monday and Tuesday are again City of Asylum evenings. You'll see Toy Derricott and then a jazz concert. And then what's the rest of the week? We have a reading from, we have a performance from Attack Theater. We have a performance from the New Hazlet Theater and a performance from Kelly Strayhorn next week. But as I said, it's obviously always varied and every week looks different. So go to www.alphabetcity.org/show. And I'm betting Nikki's putting it in the comments to see more of what's coming up.
Well, it sounds like it's a jam-packed week. So thank you so much for joining us. It's really
Thank you so much, Abby.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for working with us on the show. It's been a really fruitful partnership.
Well, we look forward to more. And speaking of, our next reading will be on Wednesday, June 17th at 7 p.m. That will feature Galileo's Daughter by Jessica Dickey, directed by Cal Haney. Our registration link should be up shortly, and we're just thrilled to be able to partner with you. So thank you, Abby, and we'll see you at least digitally soon.
Sounds good. I look forward to it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks. So our regular viewers here, you probably are aware that we like to wrap up with things that we love, good news that's happening in our community and in our organization. And today we want to invite Katie Trupiano, City Theater's Education Director, to join us. Hi, Katie.
Hey, how's it going?
We're great, and we're glad that you're with us. And it's just there's so much good work that's happening in education at City Theater right now. And I think it's one of those things that, we all know about it, but probably our broader audience doesn't necessarily know all the work that's happening and what you're doing. So we wanted to take a moment and ask you to just bring us up to speed on what's been going on.
Sure. So we are currently in the midst of going through all of our young playwrights contest submissions. We had a deadline of April 30th this year, and we had over 250 submissions to our contest written by middle school and high school playwrights who might have been trying their hand for the first time ever to write a one-act play. So we're currently going through that and looking for our winners for our 2021 Young Playwrights Festival, which will hopefully be done in January of 2021, which is really exciting to it's a daunting task to read 250 submissions, but it's also a really exciting task to see what an incredible range these students' minds and creativity and imagination can create for us to read. And they have some really incredible stories that they want to share.
I love the titles every year from YPF, going through and getting to, it's amazing. You're like, oh, this is adult playwright should take note.
Yeah.
and it's impressive that, these students were able to complete their work and submit their plays to this contest even during the pandemic when schools were closed.
Right. So our residencies, we were in about 20 classrooms this year, and we had such an amazing team of teaching artists who were wrapping up their residencies right as all the schools were starting to close down. So somehow they managed to change everything and start this crazy new distance learning and make sure that these students had the support that they needed to feel confident about submitting their plays to the contest. And 250, that was way over what I thought was going to happen, because I thought because of all the shutdowns, it just wasn't going to work out. They wouldn't have access or whatever. So shout out to our teaching artists for making that happen, because we wouldn't have had that without them.
Could you just speak to the teaching artists a little bit, because I'm not sure everyone knows what that even means. And
Sure.
there's so many talented people who are out there teaching a curriculum that's been developed over the last 20 years to deliver a way for young people in Western Pennsylvania.
Right. So we have a team of teaching artists who go out and do residencies with our classes, and they have backgrounds of all different kinds. Some of them are like theater performance people, some of them are playwriting and dramaturgs, and they kind of run the whole spectrum of theater arts as opposed like for their skill sets. So they do amazing work with our classrooms. They get assigned a classroom, maybe 2 or 3, and they go and they have 20 hours in each classroom. So we usually encourage them to do like a large workshop at the beginning to like really create that sense of team and safe space with the classes. And then they follow through maybe like every week, and they go back and teach these students how to write a 1-act play, which most students haven't had the opportunity to try their hand at because the regular English curriculum or whatever doesn't really have writing a play included in it. So they go in, and then as part of their residency, they sit down and read every single play that their students write. And then they have a conference with each and every playwright and give their feedback for their play before it's submitted. So it's really amazing work that they do to really give individual feedback and make these playwrights feel like their stories are worthy of telling and we want to hear them.
And then we produce a bunch of these plays with professional actors and designers in a festival every year, and share that work with the community and publish their plays in an anthology, which is distributed throughout the schools and through the community. And I know that that's changed a little bit this year, and I wonder if you could just speak to that.
Sure. So in past festivals, we have 6 winners, 3 high school, 3 middle school playwrights who get professionally produced at our festival every year. And this year, because of a global pandemic, we had to take our usually published anthology, which has been like fantastic in actual book format. We've had to move that from like an actual publication to an online digital publication. And we're getting ready to release that on Monday, which we're very excited about. And I really think the awesome thing about going digital with the anthology, which isn't what we had in our brains as like our goal for this anthology for this year, but as schools are either staying online or thinking about doing both in-person and distance learning, I think it's going to be a really great resource for our classrooms next year, because we won't have to worry about getting actual books to these students who may or may not be in the classroom. We'll be able to send them a link and they'll be able to see the plays that we've published, which is really exciting.
And what's so wonderful about it is that it can also go out to a wider audience. So we're able to share, these were 6, plays that took you from the underworld to the Decembrist revolt in Russia, right? Like you can span the gamut and get lost in the amazing worlds that were built by these 6 students. So it's now it'll be available starting Monday for anyone to download.
Yeah, exactly. So we hope everyone will check that out, because you're right, there was such a wide range of stories being told last year for our festival that it'll be really exciting for anyone who wasn't able to get there to see it.
So that's great. And we'll distribute the information about how to download your copy of In Their Own Voices, so you can see the incredible talent that's happening in our schools all throughout our region. And thank you, Katie, for all the work that you're doing. And congratulations on getting it out there and making it happen and being flexible and creative and leading all of us through this moment. So thank you.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, there's more to come with In Their Own Voices and the anthology, and there'll be more happening next week. So we want to encourage you to continue to join us in future weeks. Claire, do you want to send us out?
Yeah, we'll see you next Friday at 1 o'clock, back again on CT Live. Thanks to everybody for watching. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.